For this trick, I'm going to use the 2 red aces to help us out. So the goal for this trick is for me to take a random card out of the deck and shoot it directly in between these 2 aces. So let's go ahead and use a random card for example. Let's use the King of Spades. So like I said, the end goal will be for that King of Spades to end up in between these aces. But for now, let's just take the aces, the Ace of Diamonds and the Ace of Hearts, and lose these cards in the center of the deck. And now we will take this king right over here, the King of Spades, and this card will be shot into the center of the deck. And hopefully, if I do it just right about there, I think, if I just square it up right there into the deck, I think I should have gotten it directly in between the 2 red aces. Right over here, there's only 1 card in between them, and as you can see, just like that, the King of Spades. All right, so here's how the trick works. You're gonna wanna take any pair of cards. I like to use the 2 black kings. You're just gonna place both of these cards on top of the deck and then take the 2 red aces and place these on top of the deck. But in order to do the little production I did in the beginning with the top shot, just take the second ace and turn it face up. So you have both aces now face to face on top of the deck. So now when you start the trick, if you want to do a top shot, you can do that as well. But if you don't wanna do that, you can also dribble through the cards and then flip over this last card, and that also makes for a very exciting production. You tell the spectator that the end goal of this trick is to shoot a random card in between these aces, and all I do is take the top card, place it in the middle like this. At the same time, I will push off the top card and catch a break as I'm talking. So now I can take the card out and show the supposed card that was in between the aces. However, I'm now going to do a double lift by flipping over both of these cards at the same time, but I'll use the aces to help me flip it over. So I'm just grabbing the card from underneath, showing the supposed King of Spades on top, but in reality this is the second card. So now when I turn both cards back over and place this card back in the middle, it looks like this is the same card, but this is actually the other king. So now I'm going to leave that card on the table and once again catch a break on the top card, so that now when I take the aces, place 1 on top and the second one on top, I'll grab all 3 cards at the same time with a biddle grip like this, and I'll peel off the Ace of Hearts, and then the Ace of Diamonds will go right on top. What this does is it sandwiches the King of Spades in between the aces already. So now when I cut the cards into the middle, the trick is almost over. The card is already sandwiched. At this point, you can spin the card and say, we'll take the king over here, and you're going to cover the top right and bottom left corners like this and show the card. And what this will do is it will give the illusion that this is still the King of Spades. However, you're simply covering the clubs so that the spectator won't be able to tell the difference. But at first glance, if you do it quickly, they won't be able to see anything. So now all I do is I take the card and I throw it in a random position in the deck. Just throw it somewhere near the bottom or the top so that it doesn't go in the middle of the deck. But now you just spread through the cards and you should now see 1 card sandwiched in between the aces. And of course, this is the King of Spades, and if the spectator wants to examine the deck, there will be no second King of Spades in the deck because this is a normal deck of cards. This could also be a completely borrowed deck of cards as well.